Hello. If this is your first time joining me at What's Her Problem, my name is Deborah Rafson, and every Friday I tackle an issue at the heart of chronic illness and disability through personal essays, interviews, opinion pieces, and more. If you are a regular reader or listener, thank you for your continued support, and welcome back to the What's Her Problem interview series. Today, I am really pleased to welcome my guest, OBGYN and functional medicine physician Dr. Wendie Trubow. We will be tackling the issue that toxins are wreaking havoc on our bodies, and functional medicine practitioners can help us mitigate their impact. Do you know what functional medicine is and what its benefits are? Do you know what toxins are? Do you know why toxins are so harmful to certain people? Want to know what to do about them? Dr. Trubow and I talk about all of that in our chat. Wendie Trubow, MD, MBA, IFM certified practitioner, is passionate about helping women optimize their health and transform their health. Through her struggles with mold and metal toxicity, celiac disease, and other health issues, Trubow has developed a deep sense of compassion and expertise for what her patients are facing. She is the co-founder of 5 Journeys, an insurance-based functional medicine practice based in Massachusetts, and is also co-author of Dirty Girl, Ditch the Toxins, Look Great, and Feel Freaking Amazing. She has also been featured regularly in Mind, Body, Green. She is certified by the American Board of Obstetrics and Gynecology and previously served as the president of the National Celiac Association. Now, without further ado, please welcome Dr. Wendie Trubow. Hi, Wendie. Thank you so much for being here.
Deb, my pleasure. I'm so happy to join you.
You always say on your podcast, the Feel Freaking Amazing podcast, that when your husband, Ed, joins you, that you're having a celebrity sighting. And given your busy schedule, for me, this is a little bit of a celebrity sighting. So I am grateful that you're taking the time to be here today.
Thank you.
In the interest of full disclosure to everyone who's watching, I met Wendie's husband, Dr. Ed Levitan, when he became my doctor in 2006. And I think, Wendie, you and I have known each other since maybe 2010 or so. And I will have to keep reminding myself to call you by your first name, because to me, she has always been Dr. Trubow. But we go back a long ways, and both Wendie and Ed have been key players in helping me through my complicated medical journey. So today, we're going to start with something that I think is very basic for some people and totally foreign for other people, which is functional medicine. Can you talk a little bit about what is functional medicine and also how does it compare to primary care?
Yeah, it's funny. I was at a funeral last week, and someone said to me, "What do you do?" She said, "Do you work or are you kept?" And I was like, "Yeah, no, I work."
What a question.
I own a functional medicine practice. She goes, "You do?" I said, "You've heard of it?" So functional medicine functional medicine is an evolving form of medicine. It's 30 years old at this point, but the whole premise is that we really believe that you are meant to be vital, vibrant, healthy, able and interested in intimacy until you're at least 100, and you're either on that path or you're not on that path. And functional medicine is looking for what's the root cause of what's happening here, because you didn't wake up today with a deficiency in Tylenol, and you didn't wake up with a deficiency in some type of high blood pressure medication. You might have woken up with a headache. You might have woken up with high blood pressure or some stomach ache or some issue, but it's not because you're deficient in that medicine. It's because something's happening. So functional medicine does really in-depth testing, leading edge testing to look for, when you boil it down, do you have too much of something making you sick or too little of something that your body needs, the absence of which is making you sick? And we sort through all of those issues to help you craft a plan that's individual to you and brings you to your best self.
I think there's some skepticism from people who either don't know what it is or haven't tried it. I know this from personal experience, trying to explain to people what an important role you play in my medical care team. Can you talk a little bit about what the qualifications are that someone should be looking for in a functional medicine physician, and what training is involved in receiving those designations or certifications?
Yeah, so that's an interesting one, Deb, because I've met people who have all the degrees in the world and they're the worst providers. And then I've met people who don't have that many letters and credentials after their names and they're magical. So take what I'm saying with a grain of salt because not everybody needs to walk the same path. But typically, functional medicine providers are either medical doctors, doctors of osteopathy, chiropractors. There's also physician's assistants, nurse practitioners. But there's a lot of people doing functional medicine now who are not licensed. And so I would say if you're looking for a provider, I would err on the side of someone who's licensed and someone who has gone through either the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine, also known as A4M, because it's hard to say first thing, or IFM, Institute for Functional Medicine. Those are the two big bodies. So I would say look for someone trained in one of those two bodies. And where you go with who you see depends on how sick you are. So the sicker you are, the more you want to really vet them to understand if they have expertise with chronic illness, with toxicants, with hormones, with Alzheimer's. If you're suffering from a little bit of stomach ache and a little bit of brain fog, you don't need to go see the best in class. You need just someone who's going to take a root cause analysis, look at your health. So depends how sick you are. That's what I would say to guide you.
That makes sense. Thank you. That's a great starting point. So knowing that functional medicine physicians like you are treating the whole person and looking for those root causes, like you mentioned, I want to transition the bulk of our conversation to toxins, which are a very common root cause. And this is a big, huge topic that we cannot possibly cover all of today. So I think our framework today is that we're going to do an overview of what toxins are and then dig down into a few specific areas, and then we'll kind of finish with an overview of how you can mitigate the impact of those toxins. So as I mentioned in your bio at the start of this video, you wrote a book called Dirty Girl, Ditch the Toxins, Look Great, and Feel Freaking Amazing, which, by the way, is a fantastic title for a book. I've read it twice, once when it was published a few years ago, and then again in preparation for this conversation. And I think it strikes a really great balance between the personal medical narrative storytelling, the trustworthy medical analysis, and then also practical tips for how you can actually take action to improve your health when it comes to toxins. But for those who haven't had an opportunity to read it yet, and the link to the book will be in the show notes, can you just share a little bit of the story of what inspired you to write it?
So my mess became my message.